So yesterday I tried inviting people from targeted communities and people who I had any level of connection in the past for a video call, but not even a single person showed up. This is not disappointing to me, but the overall situation is obviously it's a disappointing, especially when I fled from UK to here in hope to find some relief. I've had that perception. I was in UK for the last nearly about 3.5 years, and people probably they had some limitations because I was incarcerated there within communities from I would just get displaced from one city to another, and within a day, two or three, they would establish the same sort of circumstances which I would leave in the previous city because I was being consistently stalked, followed, and for the purpose of putting through the same calamities and persecutions within communities. Before coming here, I was in touch with one of the recruiter for a very appealing professional opportunities in an oil and gas company here in Germany. And I was in touch with the recruiter for about 3 months, shared my all the credentials and everything, and had correspondence about it. And I thought maybe they were not letting me go anywhere else. They were not letting me get any opportunity. Probably they had the similar limitations as everybody else had. But once I came here at the Berlin airport, I was very, very clear and transparent about my intentions of coming to Germany. I explained to their state police my only purpose of coming to Germany is to find a job, place to stay, and some protection about my ongoing persecutions, which I left in the United Kingdom or in Ireland. They accepted that they allowed me to get into their country lawfully with the proper documentations. When I came here, where they allocated me to Eisenhüttenstadt, the first day, obviously, there were certain unpleasant experiences. The way they communicate ahead of time before I get to any certain place about my arrival, and then their staff and everybody gets alert, and then to assess in their own ways and then put through additional difficulties and make things more complicated for me. But anyway, to summarize, they told me you have to stay in the camp up to 18 months. You will not be allowed to work for a year. The only option to stay for you is to stay in the room with 6, 7 other people. Despite I explained them, I explained to your police, I explained all other concerning people. I am having many difficulties within different communities, including religious, and I'm not comfortable associating with any of those people. And all I'm requesting you, give me my registration card and let me go to the proper city, maybe Berlin or some other, the proper metropolitan city, so I could find some work and move on with my life. They were disagreed. They just kept me moving back and forth to their office because I was staying at the Berlin airport. I was in August. Every day they would say, oh, today's the office is closed after 6, 7 hours, or today the boss is not here, and any other excuses. After 2 weeks anyway, they handed my all ITs and everything back and told me as per documentation I had to leave the Germany by 31st of August. During that time still I tried different options here, into their churches, into their different organizations in different cities in Germany. But obviously it's the level of the community policing and the stalking and everything was consistent before I would get anywhere, they would tell them in advance not to entertain him or whatever. He's under surveillance or whatever the protocols they use. So on 30th of August, I ended up going to the Poland, and it was obviously it's a continuation of the way I fled from UK to here and had the same thing. How they use the local authorities to, and then local authorities they use communities. Uh, it requires another detailed discussion. What happened in Poland? They put me there despite I presented them the exit paper which the Germans provided me. Okay, this, and gave me perception this will be valid within Schengen area or within Europe if I want to relocate to another country and seek asylum or employment or whatever. And then and also I presented them my valid resident permit in United Kingdom. Still they detained me, and for 83 days they kept using different loopholes. Oh, this procedure, that procedure, and we cannot release you like that, and blah blah blah. Finally, one person from the administration I came across, he had some consideration, and that was after they put me into isolated room with no access to anything outside of that room, not even to take a shower, not even to step out of that room. And they persecuted me in that room for 10 days. That has obviously another set of details. He told me my only option is he acknowledged that we all know that you're suffering and you're going through a lot of other additional difficulties. I said, if you know, then it's even worse. Then do something about it. Somebody should do something about it if you know. Then he said, yeah, we are working on it to get you released or get you go back to UK or whatever the option is. He said his name was Michał, whatever the Polish name was. He said my only option is if I accept the offer of being deported back to Germany, where I came from. From there on, I will be free to travel within Europe to relocate for the purpose of finding a work and be able to settle down there if I want to. Or the second option would be I could go back to United Kingdom based on my valid resident permit, which I already have. But they cannot send me directly to United Kingdom because that's not part of the European Union. I said, how come? I don't understand, because I was in Dublin, that's also part of the European Union. I pulled back my asylum application. They just very in a single day they handed my all passports and everything back and let me go back, and Germans did the same. And how come Poland is different? But anyway, that's he came back to me with the official offer of getting back deported to the Germany, because that was the only option they were providing me to get released from the detention. And out of having no option, I signed that paper, and after 2 days they changed him. This pattern I have explained in one of my videos. This is not new. Whoever tried to extend any genuine support, they changed them for whatever reason, for different reasons. That has another detail. So after that, it took me another maybe 16 17 days before they about 2 weeks before they released me from there. And I was told, I have explained the passport I will receive in my detention center before my release, then in the Warsaw, then at the German border, then in the German immigration. Anyway, recently, 2 days ago, with the help of some visiting pastor here at the refugee camp here in Eisenhüttenstadt, we made a call to the Warsaw office, chief of the office, foreigners, and at least confirmed